What's up, guys? JD here. I hope you're doing well today. Got a new one in from Ketuo. Let's take a look at it. All right, guys, we have the Yukuza, and we have had this on the channel before, but this is a very affordable version of the Yukuza, which was on the premium version, a very highly recommendable model from Ketuo. Still to this day, my favorite Ketuo. This one here coming at you with carbon fiber bolsters, G10 scales. It does have a reversible pocket clip. It has a 3/4 length back spacer. But the beautiful thing about this one is the pocket clip is titanium, but the back spacer is steel. And of course, that is going to be how they're able to kind of keep the cost down a little bit. It has removable thumb ramps. It has the fuller / opening hole for deployment, and it's still very well tuned. This particular version has a black washed blade on here, 14C28N compound grind, so hollow at the thinnest part of the blade where you're going to do most of your cutting, and then out here on the tanto tip you have a flat grind to keep the strength out on the tip. So this is going to be very useful at multiple tasks. They did mill the line here for the disengagement with the lock bar insert. I like this one a lot. It's very well done. Good access to it. As I mentioned, 3/4 length back spacer with gearing on the back here, and it has an opening for the lanyard that does not sacrifice positioning of the pocket clip. No weight reduction internally, but it doesn't feel super heavy. I guess because I remember the other Yukuza, maybe I'm thinking that one had a little bit of weight to it. I believe that one's all titanium construction, so a little bit different there. But that black wash is looking really good on there. They did a nice job with that. And like I said, good access to the lock bar, very smooth action. The detent is tuned extremely well for the thumb ramp, the opening hole, and just remember on this one here, the jimping doesn't go all the way up, so you want to kind of come at or just below that top jimp there, and it is tuned well for all three means of deployment. I think my favorite is probably the opening hole, which you can use if you want to remove the thumb ramps. At least I can. And then I come down on the fuller for that reverse flick. Nice, comfortable, easy 4-finger grip. I do fit on there with a little bit of wiggle room with a relaxed hand position. My thumb lands perfectly on that jimping, so I'm in a nice controlled position for cutting with this particular one. It is nice for the pinch grip. This one here, I probably personally would just sharpen through as opposed to trying to keep that tip. It does help for a little bit of utility cutting. The tip up here is going to be a little bit higher and a little bit more out of position to do some utility cutting with this one. But when you go to break down your back boxes, when you go to break down your boxes, it's going to be really good for that. Break your back, my goodness. And then choking up to use the tip to get into packages is going to be good too. I like the grinds on this one. It's okay with the plunge grind. I wish they would bring it back just a little bit. Not a lot of sharpening life before you get a smile, but you got so much edge here that I really wouldn't complain about that. I mean, honestly, I'm not even really on that part of the edge when I'm cutting with it. I mean, usually in the meat of the actual blade. So I really don't have too much of an issue with the plunge grind. Would I like it to be better? Sure. Is it a deal breaker? Absolutely not, because there's so much with this one that's really, really nice. If you couldn't afford to pick up the premium version, this version here seemingly is done very, very well. It is, in all intents and purposes, even though it's nested liners, it's got thick scales on it, and it is heavily reinforced. This feels like an EDC user. Like, this is something that you can push and throw things at, and it's going to handle it very, very well. Let's do some quick size comparisons, and then let's weigh it. I am curious. Doesn't feel heavy, but sometimes that is a placebo thing. Let me grab some knives for size comparison. All right, I got two users that I wanted to bring out here. I love the Bodacious with the Spy 27 steel on there. Fantastic user, and with these applied weapon tech scales, super comfortable ergonomically because it takes them and contours them. And while it is naturally a more thinner knife, it just makes it very nice hand feeling ergonomically, and it's already good to start out with. And this is a little user, even though it is a smaller knife. I like the Psyop 299. You have full steel liners. You do have reinforcement here and here with the standoff to keep the strength up. Good geometry on here, nice and slicey. So a good little user that I thought the Yukuza G10 version, or I don't know that it's the G10 version, but it is the affordable, more affordable version, really compares well with these two. Let me do a couple more just in case you're not familiar with these, and then we'll grab that scale. All right, a couple more budget friendly oriented knives that I do like. The CJRB Dremel and the Duran from O Knife. Just a couple more slender knives just to kind of give you an idea where I think this is going to be more of like that hard use style carry versus more like an EDC gent carry, something that can do everything. This feels like a little bit more of a user type of knife. So I just wanted to do that comparison. Let's grab that scale. All right, we got the scale out and on. I'm thinking this is going to be like mid, I don't know if I'd go mid fours. I'm thinking like 4.2, 4.3 maybe. Okay, so I would have been better off in the mid fours. So 4.8, a little less than the Padre in my collection. So I do like the weight on this. Like I said, it does feel more heavy duty, more hard use. So I'm not terribly mad at that weight considering what you got here with the steel and everything on this construction. Okay, scale out of the way. We're going to go ahead and wrap it up with final thoughts and impressions on this particular one. If you're not familiar with the system that I use, I grade on a scale of 1 to 10 independent of each knife review, so they're not in comparison of another knife. I do take into account money for value, so your price point, your performance both with cutting and with the ergos, the aesthetics, and overall construction. Like, what's the quality, the fit, the finish, and the build and everything like. I like this one a lot. I almost forgot, I do stop at a 7 with premium being above a 7, eligible for above a 7, and then these are limited to a 7 because they have more affordable materials being used. So it's more about allowing room for knives with premium materials and super steels to be able to go past that. But having said all of that, the reversible pocket clip is a hit. I wish they could have done a titanium backspacer maybe to get the weight down a little bit. If not, maybe some milling and then steel liners. I don't know if that helps any at all with the weight. I'm not mad about it, just a little nitpick. I would like to see the plunge grind back a little bit. You are going to get some sharpening life, but not a ton. So if they could get that plunge grind pulled back, or just opening up the sharpening choil a little bit more, bringing it out some, just to get a little more life out of it. I do like 14C28N, so I think that is nice. Not a big fan of the thumb ramp, although I do think it suits the style. The thumb ramp for me, I just prefer the studs. But this one's done well because it does have the milling on there, so I can grip onto it. But I always feel like thumb ramps are meant to be kicked out, and I naturally want to go up. Having said that, they do have that little ramp on there for you to be able to kick up. So I guess on this one, I really liked the original version, and it's kind of true with this one. I think I'm going to go 6.7. Not a lot here that I can knock on too much, but 6.7 feels like a really good score on this for the budget offering, and it's going to be an easy recommendation that I have links to down below if you want to pick one up, and the link will help the channel, but that's totally up to you guys. Let me know what you think about this one down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, a like is appreciated, and if you're not subscribed, a lot of my viewers are not, your subscription goes a long way in helping the channel. Totally up to you again. Shout out and thanks to my channel members. Love you guys. That's it for me today. I'm out of here. I'll catch you on the next one. Goodbye.